Hello everyone, welcome to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We got a great show for you today. Here is what we got. Today, Nikki Haley has resigned as a UN ambassador seemingly out of nowhere. We'll take a look at some possible reasoning behind it. Also, Trump is emboldened now by his Kavanaugh victory. He is out on the campaign trail. He's assailing unhinged Democrats. Oh no, what are we ever going to do? A Florida GOP candidate, Ron DeSantis, wrote a book on why slavery wasn't so bad. Oh, that's great. Beto O'Rourke, what his plan is, and a good an upturn from him. Possible support of white evangelical women. And Larry Summers, former president of Harvard, drives through the sticks. His hilarious op-ed from that incredible experience. So the UN ambassador Nikki Haley will resign from her role on in the Trump administration, according to multiple reports on Tuesday morning. So, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. She was, if you don't know, she was the person, pretty much the liaison for the U.S. at the UN. She pretty much she took care of all our business there and pretty much worked her way through. And she was very much, she made some very questionable decisions there, to say the least. Like, for example, like walking out of the UN Security Council multiple times when they just like considered, I think like they were just considering like making condemning Israel for something, and then she was just like, I'm out of here. I can't even stand this. Well, it's just she's had her moments there. That's for sure. So, yeah, President Trump and Nikki Haley will meet in the Oval Office at 10:30 a.m. this morning. This event will be open to a poll. Sarah Huckabee Sanders tweeted that out. So, citing two sources briefed on Haley and Trump's conversation last week, Axios reported that Haley, either one of the administration's most complicit or ignorant enablers, had submitted a resignation to President Donald Trump last week during a White House visit. According to Axios, the timing of resignation remains unclear, but apparently the news shocked a number of people in her foreign policy, senior foreign policy officials in the Trump administration. There seems really right now to be no major reason why she seemed to leave, and something we're going to have to keep an eye out for, definitely, because I would personally be interested to know. So news of Haley's departure comes shortly after Trump's rough, shall we just say, appearance at the UN General Assembly a few weeks ago. There he gave a rambling speech about, he bragged about the administration's accomplishments, and he was laughed at, and then Haley insisted the laughter was a sign of love for the way the world leaders feel for Trump and how much they respect his honesty. So, yeah, he was just laughed at by pretty much the entire world. Like, that's pretty much as close as you can get to being laughed at by the whole world. But yeah, so that's pretty much like, there's very few people who've had that experience, and Donald Trump had it, and Nikki Haley spun it for him, and there probably does a lot to a person. So, while the reasoning for the former South Carolina governor's abrupt departure remains unclear for now, it's certainly almost going to fuel speculation about her political future. Last year, Politico reported the Democratic National Committee was doing full-scale opposition research on potential challengers to Trump in 2020, which did include Nikki Haley, so you wonder if they know something. I mean, it's Democrats, so probably not, but it's possible. Haley will be resigning at the end of the year, according to Trump. Speaking with reporters in the Oval Office, Trump said that Haley, he said that Haley would told him in 6 months she wanted to take a break. So apparently that's pretty much the official reason. Like, she wants to take a break. She wants, like, for a few 6 months, just 6 months or so, she just wanted to take a break, and Trump, I think, mentioned even having her come back in the cabinet soon at some point or another, just because he liked having her around, which is like, okay, a little weird. So yeah, this is the statement. So Nikki Haley's been very special to me, did an incredible job, fantastic person, she gets it, been in the UN since the beginning. She told me 6 months ago that maybe at the end of the year she wanted to take a break, was governor. This perhaps even more intense, has solved a lot of problems together. North Korea moving along well. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, thinks the world of Nikki. all happy but hate to lose you. At the end of the year, she will be leaving. We'll be in constant touch. So yeah, so this is the clip. Sorry, from their meeting in the Oval Office here for you.
I wanted to do this because Nikki Haley, ambassador to the United Nations, has been very special to me. She's done an incredible job. She's a fantastic person, very importantly, but she also is somebody that gets it. She has been at the United Nations from the beginning with us, right from the beginning, and worked with us on the campaign. It's been really a long time, very intense.
Yeah, so this is going to be a developing story. We'll probably cover this sometime soon again on the show, but I do want to end it out with this quote. Nikki Haley saying on Jared Kushner, "Jared's a hidden genius that no one understands." So yeah, that's a good quote there. Yeah, but later in that day, Trump was out and about. He was in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and sought to recast the protest over Justice Brett Kavanaugh as the actions of a left-wing mob. He's talking to the people there. The people, the right-wing base, pretty much they're on their message right now. They know what they're supposed to think, if you know what I mean. And they're getting it told to them pretty much. Yeah, so President Trump, he stepped in on attacks on the Democrats on Tuesday. New York Times reports Tuesday night as he sought to paint the party as of unhinged and wacko radicals who should not be trusted with control of Congress in another boisterous rally. He returned the campaign trail for a victory lap after hosting the ceremonial swearing in of Justice Brett Kavanaugh at the White House. So he made clear that he will use the confirmation fight as a rallying cry in the remaining weeks before the midterm elections. Supporters cheered exuberantly at the mention of Judge Kavanaugh's name. So pretty much what he's going to try and do is he's pretty much just going to try and he's probably just going to try and milk this political fight as much as he humanly possibly can. Because, like, this is the only thing that kind of worked for the Republicans to just get their voters turn out, and why not milk it? So, yeah, so the Democrats have gone too extreme, and frankly, they've become too dangerous to govern. Well, I'd say the same about Donald Trump here, and we've been living the consequences for the past 2 years. So, so the president's evolving campaign stump speech, just part of concerted Republican efforts in recent days to recast the protest of Justice Kavanaugh as the actions of an angry left-wing mob. This is pretty much the thesis statement that they have been following pretty much here to a T. Like every single one of them on Fox News, on the White House, on the Senate, the surrogates, they've all been following it to a T here. This is it. So, so let's see. A former aide recently wrote a kiss and tell book about Mr. Trump titled Unhinged and Others privately questioned his mental stability recently. In effect, Trump and his allies are trying to paint his opposition in the same light he's been painted recently during his time on the national stage, which makes a little bit of sense, I guess. The statement here, I guess, from Peter Baker. But by turning the tables, Trump hopes to give supporters a reason to turn out on November 6th, which is something they probably are going to need. But, the key thing is to realize they like to have, they like to vote. Like, it's one of the things that they enjoy to do, Trump supporters. And, so they're going to come out and they're going to vote, and it's definitely something. So, you don't hand matches to the arsonists, the president told an arena filled with thousands of fans wearing caps. He's wearing many of them wearing his signature red "Make America Great Again" baseball caps, or holding up signs saying "Women for Trump" and "Finish that wall." So the rally here in Iowa, Nebraska border, brought him back to a farm country at a time where his tariff war has left many agricultural businesses and workers really caught in the middle. So Trump has sought to reassure them he still has their backs, and let's hope that he addresses at least a little bit. It's an E15 year round. So he's going to apparently lift a federal ban on the sale of higher ethanol blends of gasoline, which made people in the farm country a little bit happy there. So the government restricts the sale of ethanol gasoline during summer months out of concern that burning more of it in the hot weather will contribute to smog. but lifting the ban will help farmers deeply worried about the prices of corn and soybeans. So you're just going to hurt, literally, come on, you're going to hurt the farmers, and then how are you going to hurt the farmers? Well, you're not going to fix the damage that you did to the farmers to make it better. No, you're going to hurt the environment. So, yeah, just like, thank you, Trump. I appreciate it. Yeah. That's annoying. So, yeah. On November 6th, the president finished. You will have a chance to stop the radical Democrats by electing a Republican House and a Republican Senate. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, so, yeah, we now turn to our third story of the day about gubernatorial candidate Ron DeSantis in Florida. So, and this may be a surprise. I know you guys thought he was an upstanding man already. He was one of the best people. He was a big Trump guy. He's made racially tinged comments in the past, but get ready, guys, because this could be rough to hear. He made racist comments in an entire book. What? I know it's very tough to hear. I mean, it's pretty rough. I mean, I'm very sorry that you had to go through hearing this. I mean, are you okay? No, in 2011, DeSantis published a little notes book, Dreams from Our Founding Fathers. Get it? Because Obama's 1995 memoir, Dreams from My Father, I think it was called, is filled with the ramblings of objectively clash with the stated ideals of a man who said he's only ever racist on accident, which is a hilarious quote there. The Miami New Times reported on excerpts from the book Tuesday after the American Ledger, a publication of the super liberal PAC American Bridge, first resurfaced the book comments in a post on Monday. So what the two Bizarro World book reviews show that DeSantis' comments and its commitment to railing against any pro-integration, anti-slavery argument lobbed at the Supreme Court or the Founding Fathers. This starts with his rebuke of Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall's decision to criticize the collective of long-dead racists for baking white supremacy in American culture, with DeSantis writing that Marshall's failure overshadows the numerous and long-lasting political achievements embodied in the structural foundation of the government that have nothing to do with the institution of slavery. DeSantis went on to write that Marshall was dead wrong in his criticisms because of the philosophical foundations of the Constitution are incompatible with slavery. Is that so? Yeah, and the line fits with the general worldview promoted by DeSantis and his ilk. It's a very kind of white supremacy take. The Ledger and the New Times both reported that DeSantis went on to claim so-called three-fifths interesting here. The white supremacist favorite faction, the three-fifths compromise in the Constitution, which counted slaves as enslaved Americans as three-fifths of the person actually meant in anti-slavery states. Simply stated, Southerners wanted the compromise because it meant more bodies counted towards representation, while continuing to summarily deny those same people their basic human rights. I mean, it doesn't matter who it benefited. It's about who it hurt, right? It's about the slaves not getting counted as counted as any more than 3/5 of the person, which isn't very good. It's pretty awful, but yeah. So it's incredibly racist, and I highly encourage you to, if you're a Florida voter at least, if you investigate some of this stuff about what he's saying. Talk about three-fifths compromise, talking about voting rights. I'm sure he has a lot of takes on that. It'll be very, very interesting, very, very illuminating to you if you are a Florida voter. Just want to send out a bad signal for that if you are a Florida voter. So yeah. New interesting New York Times article out today that caught my eye. Elizabeth Diaz from Texas saying that after a church visit on a recent Sunday, Emily Mooney smiled as she told her girlfriends about her public act of rebellion. She had slapped a Beto for Senate sticker on an SUV and driven it to her family's evangelical church. But then across the parking lot in deep blue, conservative Bible Belt, Texas, she spotted a sign of support. The exact same sticker endorsing Beto O'Rourke, the Democrat who's challenging Senator Ted Cruz. She said, I wonder who is it? Who in our church is doing this?